hear me. So thanks for joining, everybody. I've got Shane backstage with USHA. We're going to have him jump on here in just a minute. Give us a like and thumbs up if you guys can hear me now. I know, see, it's coming through that I was muted. Should be all set now. Hello. Awesome. Perfect. Cool. So I'm excited for today because we are going to jump into learning all about USHA Mercantile for those that don't know yet or haven't heard of them before. And then also have exciting new products to kind of walk through and go through. So I've got the master of USHA ready to jump on here. And let me add him to the stage here. Shane, how are we doing today?
Good, Chris. How are you today?
Doing well. Thanks for taking some time to jump on and share some information on what you guys have going on over there.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Thanks for everybody for joining.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess for those that haven't heard of USHA Mercantile before, I know we've done a few of these webcasts a couple of times, but give everybody that hasn't heard of you just a little overview of who USHA is, what you guys do, high level overview of some of the products, and then we can get into some more details from there.
Sure. So we're USHA Mercantile, and we are manufacturing in India and shipping into the United States, Europe, Canada, Australia, and we're about to open up to Japan and Brazil for anybody who's into shipping over there. So that should be coming soon. We are an MTO factory, which means made to order, which is a lot like POD, but we do like a little bit more like hands-on, a little more custom crafted products, a lot more hands-on. A little bit slower sometimes than POD, but really when you come down to our speed and shipping time, we're just as fast. I mean, Chris can attest to that. We've shipped Chris some things from India, and he was actually floored by how fast they got there. Our SLA time is 5 days or less. Most things are made in about 3 days, and we use FedEx International Priority, which means we're the first FedEx packages on the jet, which means they're the first off and they get delivered priority over others. So we've actually made things for Chris, shipped them, and they've delivered to his house in about 4 days. It's pretty quick.
I think some of them have even been less than that. And I don't live in a major metro area. So like the quote unquote 2-day shipping from Amazon has taken longer than it's taken to get some of the stuff from you guys from India, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is nuts. So yeah, and for the SLA shipping, it's FedEx International Priority is 3 to 5 days. So you've got to live like in, I don't know, in the middle of like British Columbia on top of a mountain or something like that for it to get to the 5-day range. But if you're like a major metro area or outside, usually 3 days is usually they hit it, sometimes in 2 days. So that's good.
Yeah. So essentially you're looking 3 to 5 days for production and 3 to 5 days for shipping time, right?
That's right. So from the time you order to the time it's delivered, it can be 6 to 10 business days from order to ship, which is still really fast in the industry.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's right along the lines of almost any normal quote unquote normal POD product that you would expect. So
exactly
right in line with that. Yep. So
our focus is on home interior goods. That's where the core competencies are. So a lot of bedding going on in there, and then a lot of soft goods, tableware like placemats and tablecloths and runners, and then we also do sheets, blankets, quilts, comforter sets, and the bedding sets are like the big feature for those who want to get into home interior goods. And we'll probably get into all that here in just a minute.
Yeah, it is really cool. You're one of the few people that I've seen that actually has like a full, complete bedding set, not like only a quilt or only a bed. You guys have the full, complete sets in the like standard bed sizes and that whole sort of thing too.
Yeah, and that makes us very unique. My former employer, everyone probably knows, or most people know, I worked for MWW, who's fantastic at what they do. But they only sell one duvet or things. You can still order them together and get them coupled, but in order to get them like all together in like a bed in a bag program, that's what we do. And this is made for a queen or a king, and this bed in a bag is all over print on both sides, and you can design this any way that you want. Most frequently is what happens is whatever pattern you're printing on the bedding, you go on the bag, and then the front, usually logo, and maybe on the back, you'll have some information about yourself. You could do pretty much anything with it.
Yeah. That's really cool. Having that bag that has that branding opportunity on top of it is really, really neat.
Yep. So you get your brand name out there, and it makes for good storage when it's not in use. Also, we've had several people tell us that it makes for an awesome laundry bag. So,
oh yeah, that is cool.
So
yeah, have you guys thought about offering that by itself as a laundry bag?
Maybe so. It's probably a good idea.
I think we just came up with a good idea for you. You've already got the product.
We'll give you credit. We're going to put you on commission right away.
There you go. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. That's neat. So the way I would describe it as well is most of your products are a little bit higher end, right? So like if you're looking at, more of the like cotton goods, your blankets are higher end bedding, the pillows, which I'm sure we'll get into this more in a minute as we start going through slides, but the pillows are really, really nice. Having that, it's an alternate down feeling that that by itself is like super, super nice.
Right. Just alternative down inserts without the cover.
Yeah.
If you go to, if you really go anywhere, you can go to a really nice home goods store or something like that. You're talking like $25, $30 just for the insert itself. So they're very, very good quality. Chris has discovered how well they wash. When his wife washes them.
I was going to say, I haven't. My wife has discovered. It was funny. I was talking to her several weeks ago, and Shane and I were working on organizing this. And I said something to my wife about having Shane back on. And she's like, tell him that for him to come back on, he has to send us another pillow.
Send her two.
so he sent her two. Yep. So
nice.
yeah, they are.
Make her happy.
It was funny. I was telling Shane earlier when we first got them. My wife is rather particular about those types of things. And she's like, oh yeah, that alternate down stuff is nice, but when you wash it, it all wants to clump, and it's not washable. And I was like, I said, these aren't supposed to be that way. I said, give it a try, wash them and see. And she took them and washed. She came back. She's like, oh my gosh, like it's even better now that I've washed it. So it's really, really nice. I meant to pull up the pictures too. I took pictures of the last one that I received. If I get a minute, I'll pull those up so I can show people. One of the really nice things that you guys do with your shipping that helps to keep the shipping costs low is you actually vacuum seal all of the product. So even though, like you sent me two, I'm not sure what size they are, like 17 or 20 inch pillows.
18 or 20s, right?
Yeah. So they came and the package was thick, and there was two pillows in there.
And this thing right
really,
here
really helped to keep the cost down too.
Yeah, this thing is it's chunky. It's super chunky, but when we compress it, it's getting down to like this. And so it keeps it fresh when it arrives. And then you just pop the bag and it comes back open. And we do get asked a lot. That's a good thing to talk about. We get asked a lot about bedding. With the comforter sets, people are afraid, well, if it's compressed, it's not going to come back. And, they're concerned about that. Chris has found out himself that it definitely bounces back rather quickly with the pillow.
Oh, yeah.
Comforters are the same way. What we tell people, and it's true, when you take the comforter out of the bag and it decompresses, it comes out to about 75 to 80% decompressed. But if you just let it sit overnight, it'll bounce back all the way to between, close to being 100%. It doesn't take very long at all.
Yeah, it comes back very, very fast. You don't have to really wait for it at all to kind of puff back up. So it's really nice because that especially on pillows, that can get to be an issue on pillows because the cost to ship them when you ship them without doing that compression really makes a big difference.
True. And to your point, just in general about higher end goods, that's really where we're focusing. There's enough mid to low things out there in the market which are kind of saturated. And we're definitely focusing over here on the higher end goods where you can actually compete in a retail store with products that are just like it side by side, and which means your MSRP, you can charge higher MSRP, which makes your margin larger depending on which product it is. And that's where we want to live over there. It takes a little bit longer, takes a little bit, care. We have to have extra QC to make sure these things are right because we're not trying to do them as fast as possible. we're trying to do them, properly and right, and that they get out the door correctly the first time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. I'll pull up your slides here, and we can go through some of your new products. Maybe, does that sound good?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Perfect. If anybody has any questions, we'll definitely have plenty of time at the end to address any questions, and can try to, if there's anything relevant as we go, we're happy to answer those as well. But we should have plenty of time to get through everything. So
absolutely.
All right. So first one we have listed here is your quilted flannel and Sherpa comforter sets.
Yep. So this is the big daddy. This is the flagship product for the winter. And this thing, I've got one right here. I brought one with Chris. I brought one with me.
Hey, there you go.
I should have shipped you one. Anyway, so this is the top, and I'm going to use this to talk about several of these different products. And this one right here, it is flannel top printed. It's box quilted. I don't know if you can see that, but it's box quilted. It's
nice.
filled with alternative down, and in the back is Sherpa. And this thing is super chunky and super, super soft and very, very warm. In fact, let me correct myself. This is the standalone quilt. This one is not filled. So you can see, even if it's not filled as the quilt, this thing is still a monster, and it prints beautiful. The comfort version is filled with alternative down, and the set comes with 2 standard shams, 2 Euro shams, which are also made from the flannel, and the brand bag is made with the same flannel material.
Nice.
Which is really cool.
Awesome. And you can see listed on here. So this is the cost that's listed on, and this is on all the slides. So we're going to be going over several new products here. Right. The cost that we have listed on here is all in, right? That is product cost, that's shipping cost, everything. That is the full cost to get to the customer. So you can see a lot of these have a very nice, even if you don't decide to sell it for the full $3.99 MSRP, or maybe you're going to charge a little bit for shipping, there's plenty of room in that margin to still have some very good profit margins on these.
Right. And just a word about our MSRPs, like where do you get, like, hey, how do you even determine that? Well, we have retail customers who sell into stores. We know what they're selling them for. And then we also go extra step, and we go to other retail stores, usually online, and we find a like for like product just as it is, same material, same construction, and we see what it's to bear in the market. Then we get an average of those. So this 5-piece set, being it's considered a luxury item because it's so just well made and properly made, it does get $3.99. And to Chris's point, you don't need to sell it at MSRP. We even have some partners who sell over our MSRP, and they have no problem selling quite a bit throughout the week. So just keep that in mind.
Sure. Yeah. Definitely don't shortchange yourself on it, but at the same time, like, you're not doing other than the setup on these is maybe a little bit more because you've got multiple different designs that you're putting together. So make sure you're getting paid for your time and everything. But beyond that, as you're making sales, you don't have additional work in these products that compared to any other product that you're used to selling on your store. So having these type of profit margins on products like this can be really, really good add-ons to your store for sure.
Right. I think, another strategy there too is if you go to, some other online retailers, maybe Zappos or something like that, you'll usually see the MSRP is always present in the price, but it's a strike-through price.
Right.
So you'll see like $3.99 strike-through our price to $2.50, which is a really good strategy and something you can think about. And even if you were selling these at $2.50, you still have a really good margin. And
so then you're only making $100 an order.
Only $100. We're sorry you're only making $100 for bedding set. I wish we could do that. But think about how many T-shirts a week you have to sell to get $100 based on that. That's a lot of T-shirts, a lot of mugs.
Exactly.
So sell one bedding set a week, 2, and you're in really good shape.
Yep. And I meant to mention this earlier. You kind of brought it up a few minutes ago about some of your retail business that you guys have. I don't know that you can necessarily name any specific retailers or not, but you guys are selling into a lot of higher end retail, or are essentially selling these exact same products, and they're high end retail
Yes.
bedding shops that people would recognize the name of. So when I mentioned earlier about this being a higher quality product, that's what I was referring to, is that if you knew some of the places they were selling into, you guys would know, the level of quality that like some of these stores are conveying.
Right, and that was part of the concept of what USHA Mercantile wants to be in. Normally, MTO programs like this are reserved for high end retailers. Right. They buy a container load of these bedding sets, whether they're in the plastic bags like suitcases or things like that. They put them on the retail shelves, and then as they're running out of stock, a manufacturer like ours is manufacturing all of their e-commerce sales that are coming through online, so it doesn't touch the inventory that's in the store. And we're probably one of the only or very few that offer MTO services with a wide open door. We don't require you to be a big retailer, so we charge the exact same prices we would charge anybody else for these goods on an MTO service level basis.
Yeah, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Couple questions here, I think. Are your pillow inserts the same dimension as the cover or slightly larger to fill the corners of the cover?
Very good question. They are made specifically to go all the way to the corner.
Very cool.
So they are, yes, and to answer your question, yes, they are a little bit larger, so they go all the way in. If you made them to match this thing, they would just be floppy, and it wouldn't work that way. So yes.
Right. And I know the samples that you sent, we'll probably get to these in a minute. But it does a really good job filling all the way out to the corners.
Yep.
Let's see. Is there a duvet cover in flannel?
Well, just you wait.
Hold your horses.
Hold your horses for just a second.
Let's see. Thanks for the live. Yes, it's nice to see products in person for sure. Love the print. Color is vibrant. How do you make designs? We can get into that a little bit, but it's gonna be very similar to other products that you're used to designing for. With Anywhere POD, you just go in. When you get into the sets like these, you do need to add a design for like each piece, right? So there's going to be the sham and the euro, like everything's gonna have its own print design that you'll want to create and upload for. But other than that, it's one of the nice things with Anywhere POD is it's like creating a product for anything else. So product creation is a lot easier when it comes to creating that base product.
And I really have to applaud Anywhere POD and the design tools that you guys have for making bedding that can be this complex so simple for folks. So the entry level into being able to sell amazing quality products is just like a couple of clicks away from reality. So for that, it's incredible.
Yeah, cool. Thanks. Yeah. All right, let's next one here. Hey, lucky here.
So this is the flannel and Sherpa duvet cover set. So pretty much the same product. It will not have the box quilt.
Okay.
But it will not have the alternative down filling, but it'll have the open cavity with a hidden zipper insert. And that way you can put whatever size duvet you want in there. I mean, I think if you go to IKEA, they have like different ratings of duvets. They have like super light for maybe summer, and maybe a mid, and maybe a high. So, and I will say this thing right here as a duvet cover is probably a good standalone just on its own. You could probably market it as a duvet cover and coverlet if you wanted to market it that way. So it has dual purpose.
Sure. Yeah. Very cool. So knife edge, like you said, hidden zipper. So again, great. Your cost on this all in shipped and everything's $127. The MSRP at $350. So again, plenty of room for the margins in there to sell anywhere in that, $250 range, $350 range. Is really, really good.
Yep. Also enough margin in there to have like a really good sale every once in a while at targeted times. And to reiterate Chris's point, every time you see cost on the screen here, that is all in delivered to the door of your customer.
Yes, which brings up this question that I knew was going to come up. We didn't address earlier. The cost listed here. So there is now, with all, I'm sure everyone's been watching all the new tariffs going on and the de minimis rule changes and all that type of stuff. The cost that's listed on each of these slides does include any kind of tariff fee that's in there along with it, right?
Right. And so if there are issues, there are no issues with it shipping or anything like that. And I will say this, we wanted to make sure we were 100% transparent with everybody who does business with us. The tariffs are placed by the U.S. government that they're going to collect to bring this in. USHA, we've never increased our prices on any products at all. Tariffs were started weird and kind of went up a little higher, and they've kind of done this weird thing. So we definitely list those with full transparency in our pricing. There's the cost of the product, the U.S. tariff, and whatever it costs to ship. And then we also list the all-in price, so it's easy. And then we list our MSRPs right alongside, so you have all that math right in front of you.
Yep. So when you look in Anywhere POD at the shipping cost Anywhere POD is actually going to include that tariff cost for you guys, so that if you want to charge for shipping, like that information is there as like shipping profiles and everything are set up in Etsy. So that's already going to be factored in if you want to charge for shipping, or if you want to build that into the base cost of your product. If you want to see the breakdown of how much is the shipping and how much is the tariff, when you create your account with USHA, they have all that breakdown in there, so you can see what that breakdown is for each one. But again, all of the costs, all of the pricing that we've talked about so far and what's listed on the screen is all in. That includes the cost of the product, that includes tariff, and it includes shipping. So your margins that we have listed here are true margins after figuring in all of that. And these margins are considering if you're not charging the customer for shipping at all. So
right,
just something else to keep in mind there.
Right. And we promise, as trade relations with India and this current administration improve, because they should, they'll go away. Again, we're not the ones taking the money. We just have to make sure that we assist you in providing it in a legal way. So
Yep. All right, moving on to the next one here. Now, this is the one I think that you've been kind of showing the sample of, right? This is the quilted flannel with the Sherpa throw, right?
Yeah, let me see. My girlfriend is wrapped up on the couch over there, so I'm going to wrap up like her.
There you go.
While you guys continue your webcast, I'm gonna take a
little nap here.
Take a little nap. But yeah, so this is the product. This would be the standalone without the bedding set. It's the quilted flannel and Sherpa throw. And this is not filled, but again, just like the other ones, flannel top, thick, rich, creamy Sherpa backing. If you don't have an airbag in your car, you could buy one of these and stuff it in the dashboard, and you'd be safe.
Nice.
Yes.
So this, what I would in particularly do on this one, obviously we all know blankets sell like crazy this time of year going into the holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
But this is going to be a much higher quality blanket. So I would take any designs that you're already selling on blankets and sell this as an additional option, right? So you can have your fleeces or any of that you already have that are kind of your cheaper entry blankets.
That's right.
And have this as an upsell, add that as a variant in Anywhere POD, and kind of have this as an upsell, because you're going to have some customers that they're happy with the, thinner fleece, and they, don't want to spend a whole bunch of money, but you're going to have people that are wanting to, buy a present for grandma or grandpa and spend the $120 for a really, really nice blanket and be done with their shopping and not have to buy a bunch of extra stuff after that. So
and that's
I would add that. It's the old, like, would you like fries with that? Right? Like this is your upsell, your add-on that you can add to your existing listings.
That's right. And to Chris's point, that's how McDonald's became from a multi-million-dollar company to a multi-billion-dollar company just by saying, would you like fries with that? So the same thing, really, the best idea, and we can talk about this as we go, is to let the consumer decide to what level that they're willing to spend. Yeah. I mean, we have cotton goods that some people, we also have microfiber, which may be a little bit less. And here, like to Chris's point, you probably already have 50 by 60, 60 by 80 art. Make this an upsell. Make this your flagship fleece. There's no reason to stop selling anything else because they're probably going to sell just as well. Let the consumer decide.
Exactly. Yep. Absolutely. All right. Next one here. These are the velvet throw pillows that we talked a little bit about already earlier. And I can attest these are very, very nice. So Shane sent me a couple of these as well. My filter is going to want to.
Yeah, the filter is blocking them out. But Chris has some really cool Christmas pillows.
And what's really nice with these is how well they wash up as well. Now these are inserts, right? Because you have some that are just the full pillow, and then some that come with a zipper for the insert, right?
Right. So our new velvet pillow, which we're selling really, really well right now, microfiber velvet, and then alternative down, knife edge, hidden zipper. I will give you a sneak peek in 2026 because we're in the middle of Q4. It's hard to make new product changes and add new things in, but we'll have the velvet pillows with our 22 piping color options. So
nice!
So you can really go crazy with those.
Very cool.
I was going to say we have a lot of Anywhere POD people who sell our goods. I've seen your designs; they're absolutely spectacular on the velvet pillows. Just how well they print. The print quality is just incredible. Super sharp detail. If you can see just a little bit, especially with the holidays, there's just a light bit of shine on there, like velvet should. So it looks really nice. And when it's underneath the Christmas tree with all the lights going on, it looks really pretty.
For sure. Yeah. And this is another area, guys. If you have any pillows in your catalog now, like list this as an upsell option, right? Keep your standard option. You've already got the artwork done. List this as an additional option that they can offer as that upsell opportunity, and I think you do really well with those.
Absolutely, yeah. We have all the standard sizes of pillows, so you probably are. If you're already working with pillows, you want to add this on. You probably already have the artwork, so it should be a very easy switch over.
Yep. And costs being $39, like that's not that far out of line, even from the kind of what I would call like your standard kind of lower end pillows, right? Like this isn't a whole lot more, but being that, that luxury velvet really kind of ups the perceived value on these as well.
Yep, exactly. I mean, really, to be honest, shipping pillows anywhere in the world is just, let's face it, the shipping carriers are going to figure out a way to nickel dime everything that they ship. And since this has such a weird dimensional weight, it's like lightweight, but the dimensions are so big, even compressing it down. So again, a lot of that is to do with shipping.
Yeah. And especially, most providers aren't doing that compression. So their costs are a lot higher to ship it than what you guys are. So that helps keep that cost down.
Yep. Absolutely.
Very cool. All right. Shower curtains and bath mat set. Very cool.
So this was from the Anywhere POD crowd pointing out to us constantly that we needed to have a shower curtain and a bath mat set so they could do matching sets. Because a lot of times it's true. In on demand, some of them sell shower curtains. There might be a bath mat over here. They come from different, providers, and they're hard to mix and match, and they don't really match up properly. But ours do. And on the screen here, that's our, very popular cotton scalloped shower curtain. And the bath mat itself is beautiful, microfiber printed top, and it'll print a lot like this right here. It's a very similar fabric. The backing and middle layer is a really nice, cushy felt. So it's got some nice give to it. And unlike a lot of other bath mats I've seen in POD, they're almost like Frisbees. They don't really give a lot because they're made out of, foam. And when you step on, honestly, when you step on them with a wet foot, it's like you're stepping on a sponge. I don't really like them that much. But ours are made like a real bath mat. So there's some nice flow to it. It's also soft. And then it's got a rubberized back with hang on one second. This was a sample of the backing. I just figured I'd show it to you. So this is what it looks like. It's the nice rubberized back
nice.
here.
Very nice. Yeah.
It'll adhere to the floor, and it's not going to go anywhere. And they're also the bath mats are wash and dry. As long as you follow the washing and drying instructions, they should last a very long time. And they also dry. They hang dry very fast too.
Oh, very cool. Nice. Yeah, I like that those are you have those combined as a set. That makes it a lot easier to create and offer those. And then you have those individually as well, right? Like you offer them individually too. Yeah.
So another thing too, when you do the scallops, whether you do the scallops or not, but if you are into our scalloped shower curtains, which are really elegant, when you pick the piping color, we're going to do the edge of that scallop shower curtain, and we're going to use the same as piping around the edge of the bath mat, so the trim colors will match.
Nice. Yep. Very cool. Yeah, and that has the all 22 piping colors. Is that right?
That's correct. 22 and counting.
22 and counting. There you go. Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Yeah, and there we go. Bath mat sets.
Yep, bath mat sets. We get asked about that quite a bit. You know, everyone's bathroom is a little bit different in size. In fact, this set right here would go perfect in my bathroom because I could put the little Mary one there, the 17 by 24, like right in front of the commode, and then right in front of the sink, the 20 by 32, and then my step-in shower, the 20 by 46, right there. So, you know, all the same design, all different. However you want to market that, and really the value is the MSRP on a set like that.
Yeah. So they're getting all three for $56 delivered.
That's correct. And your MSRP is nice, and I mean, I don't think anyone's going to complain about putting $63 a pop in their pocket by selling one bath mat set at MSRP.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, and that one, like, that feels like you'd be able to sell it for more than 120 on that one too for three bucks. You know, that's
you probably could.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yep.
Very cool. Okay, I think that that covered all the new products you wanted to go over, right?
Yeah, those are all the new for fall and winter.
Okay.
And yeah, very excited about those things. And of course, we'll have new stuff in 2026.
Very cool. Awesome. Did you want to talk at all about the peach?
Oh, yes. One thing I wanted to tell you guys, and something that I didn't have a slide for, is that we just recently added a new fabric into our mix. It's called peach microfiber. So all of the designs you normally would have for like cotton, we now have peach microfiber because I guess cotton itself can be a little bit tricky to print on. And even if you go into a higher end home goods store, you'll notice that the top designers really use cotton in a specific way. You know, if you talk about the brand bag here, you'll see a lot of designs like this in cotton where they're, you know, very light. And they also use the white space because the white is what actually like lifts the design like off of the fabric itself. Our cotton blend prints very, very well, but ink can get a little bit muted on cotton. It just naturally does that. But with the peach microfiber, it's not going to do that. I mean, it's going to print like photographic quality with super fine detail. In fact, it's just as crisp and detailed as the velvet.
Very cool.
So if, you know, it really depends on what you're doing. If you're focusing on, you know, nice French, you know, patterns like those twill patterns of like really light blues and things like that, they go well on cotton. They'd probably do well on peach microfiber, but things like this, will they print on cotton? Yes, they will, but they're really going to show out on the peach microfiber. Nice. The peach is very, very soft like a velvet. It's also breathable. So it's a very high quality microfiber product, and we're really happy to have that on board. So when you see our bedding products, they're cotton, we also have peach microfiber now available for you too.
Very cool. That's awesome. All right, guys, I see a few questions. We'll start going through here. Feel free if you have any other questions at all. Now is the time to drop them in while the man is here. Let's see what we got here. Question on mock-ups, our favorite topic. Mock-ups available. So that is one of the things that I don't want to say is that's a little bit of an extra step with some of USHA products. is right now all of the mockups that are available are Photoshop files that you can get either in Anywhere POD, or they're also available to download in your USHA Mercantile account. They're pretty easy to use. I mean, they're all set up. If you don't use Photoshop, you can set them up in Photopea as well. You can also, so we get asked a lot about other mockups and how to create your own mockups and that sort of thing. I've been playing around some with Nano Banana on their ability to create mockups. One of the really, really nice things with Nano Banana is it can keep objects the same between generation, right? So you can use the Photoshop file to create your initial mockup and then use that image and have Nano Banana convert that into any other style of mockup that you want. So for right now, that's probably your best option. Depending on the product, you could build a product template in Anywhere POD. That would probably work okay on some of the pillows and on the like the throw. The bedding sets get a little bit more complicated though, because to really show a bedding set, you kind of really need some of the capabilities that are available in Photoshop. So
we do have multiple angles on the products in USHA. You can log, when you create an account, you can go to our PSD mockup repository, and they're all there listed in their own directories. You can take whatever you want. Like to Chris's point, you can actually use some of those if you're not like super, like a super user with Photoshop. You could even export that PSD file as a PNG and just use it as its white space and move it into Canva. And to Chris's point about Nano Banana, I've done a lot of playing around with like Gemini and things like that.
Yep.
And what's been working for me is make a pillow that's green screen color in your initial image that you're trying to make the product a green screen color, and that way when you move it back over to Canva, it's easy to highlight and it'll grab like very, very close to like do the replacement of the art in behind.
Yep. Yeah, and any of those that you can take into Canva, you can create those as a template in Anywhere POD, so then they're automatically generated for you. So it kind of depends on the product, on whether or not that's, how easy that is to move back and forth, but good stuff there.
Yep.
Let's see. I see a couple questions that came up that we addressed earlier. They may have come in late, but shipping speed, remind us again, I think it was 3 to 5 for production and another 3 to 5 for shipping, right?
Yep. 3 to 5 for 5 days or less production, and then 3 to 5 business days, FedEx International priority. So anywhere from 6 to about 10 business days from the time the order is placed to at the door delivery.
Very cool.
Yep.
Can they be personalized? Absolutely. That's the beauty of using Anywhere POD, is that you can do any personalization that you want with any of our features. Even some of the pillows and bedding, I think could work really well if you're into like the wedding niche at all. Doing like a bedding set for like wedding presents with like a big monogram on the top with initials or names, could all do really well. And then of course you can use our Nano Banana AI effects that are built in and everything as well. So
you can also, like the bedding sets, you have 4 different shams there. You can put the names, you can have them, because you can design them all individually. You can do all kinds of nice stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Question about signing up. I had gone in just before you started and saw you have to have a business set up. I haven't started my LLC yet. Is there a workaround to get this set up? I don't think you don't need an LLC or anything to sign up for it with you guys, do you?
Nope, not at all. If you have it, it's nice for us to have it. If you want to ship, currently right now, if you want to sell and ship into Canada, we'll need like your Canadian GST number, but we are working on some ways to open that door up, like Etsy would, because Etsy has like their own tax nexus set up,
right,
in all these different countries, which allows you to extend your sales in there without having to worry about it, which can be like a painful and expensive, or sometimes expensive process. So we, for everybody, we are working on that to try to open that up, definitely to Canada and hopefully into Europe. So
yeah, but that if it asks for any kind of business number, you're saying that field just isn't required. You can just create an account.
Right. It's not required. Correct.
Yeah. Cool. Is it called peach microfiber, and is that confusing in the description since the customer might think it's referring to the color? Is there another name that goes by, or is it?
So peach microfiber, we call it peach because it sounds good. Technically, it's a brushed microfiber, so it goes through a couple different processes to give it its kind of velvety, soft, pile on the touch. But what we work with is 100% solid white. So there's no color to it whatsoever until we print it.
Gotcha. Cool. Is there a fee to join USHA?
Chris will take $100 from you today. It's absolutely free. You're welcome to join USHA. You can make a free account, and you can have all the fun in there. And we connect, really easy connection to Anywhere POD. You just go into your business account, your settings, grab the API token, and then Anywhere POD, and we are connected.
Yep, very cool. Any possibilities of infant or small children blankets?
So that's a really good question. We get asked about that quite a bit. With doing children's, anything that's marked for children and marked for toddlers, there are a lot of different, regulations within the factory. Like you almost have a separate factory set up because every process needs to be screened. So it's really hard to mix those types of things. It really almost requires your own factory or an isolated setup, which is not something we have right now, something that we talk about quite a bit. I believe it's something we can do. So hopefully in the future, that would be yes.
Is that just to market it as like an infant? Like what if it was just a smaller size blanket? Like
I think if you
be a 20 by 25 or whatever,
Right. I believe if you just market it as a small size, extra small size, then there wouldn't be regulation. But if it's something specifically for children and for infants, those have to go through a very rigorous testing process. There's certifications from, I think, CISPA that you have to have for like flame retardants and things like that. So.
Gotcha. Raymond, I would say saying it's showing as a required field. I think that's back to the business question. If I remember right, there's a drop down there for what type of business. You might try changing that. If you have any issue, reach out to either USHA support or Anywhere POD, and we can help make sure that's.
Raymond, give me a call, bro. I'll take care of you. But I think if you go in and you choose the drop down and just mark it as reseller, I think it's one of the two, but it's not required. I guarantee it.
Yeah, if you change that drop down, you should be able to get into it.
Yep.
What is the printing process on the fabric?
Very good question. So we predominantly use dye sublimation.
Perfect. Cool.
Yep.
Which is kind of standard. Most like blankets and stuff like that. Any of that kind of stuff that you have. Right. That you've seen other people do, it's that same type of dye sublimation.
Right. I think some shops, depending on who it is, they work with piece goods where they'll buy this pillow cover already made, and they'll just hit the cover and they do, I guess, like a heat press, like a panini press, and they'll print the paper and they stamp it in. We actually do roll to roll dye sublimation. So we print the paper out, and then that roll meets the fabric roll, and it's a roll press. So that way we can do many prints at one time. So that's how.
Cool. And is that like on pillows and stuff? That's all then like before it's sewed or cut or anything. So that's why. So sometimes when you do dye sublimation, if they're not doing cut and sew like USHA is, you can end up with like a white strip around the outside, or because they're doing dye sublimation on one side, flipping the pillowcase over, and then doing dye sublimation on the other side. So you end up with a small 1/16 or 1/8 of an inch strip of white all the way around.
Right.
But since this is cut and sew, the entire piece of fabric is getting dye subbed, and then it's getting cut and sewn. So it's a completely seamless design, as we mentioned earlier, like you would expect in a high-end retail shop. So,
yep. And also it's very important about our rugs. We do incredible indoor and outdoor rugs. I wanted to point that out specifically because with a lot of POD shops that do rugs and mats, they're doing them the way we just described, where they have a piece good that's already made, China or wherever, Vietnam, and then they lay it on a press, and then it's pressed. And what ends up happening is, and you'll see it even says at the bottom, don't use complex designs that have borders and things like that, because those things tend to shift. When you have pressure, heat, they tend to move. Our rugs, just like our products, but the rug specifically, we're going to print that substrate for the rug first, then we're going to cut out. So you can do as many complex patterns as you want. It's in borders as you need. We're going to cut it to the size, and then we're actually going to serge it after it's done with, you get 6 different color options to serge your rug. So big difference in manufacturing style.
Yeah. That is cool. Your rugs are really nice, and they come with a optional mat that they can, a mat that they can put underneath of it too, right?
Yeah, we've got indoor, outdoor, and then we've got a true outdoor rug, which of course is just a little bit thinner for low profile. In fact, you could call it a performance rug. They will really, if you have kids in like high traffic areas, our outdoor rugs are just fantastic for that too, because they're very low profile. You can, put them in the hallway, and ours are wash and dry friendly too, just like Ruggable. In fact, I think ours might be better than Ruggable, to be honest. We've heard that quite a bit. You can just throw them in the wash machine, wash them, dry them. The outdoor rugs you can wash and hang outside, and they'll probably dry within an hour in the sunshine, probably even less.
Awesome.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yep.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, I don't see any more questions. So once you're done here, go to your Anywhere POD account on your dashboard. You'll see USHA listed there. There will be a link there that'll take you straight to their portal to be able to get your account and everything set up. So jump in there and do that. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to USHA or Anywhere POD support. We can make sure to get your question is answered. USHA is really good when it comes to support as well. You're talking to the people that have the direct connections with the factory. You're not having to go through any kind of middleman or anything, and they do always above and beyond support, helping out our customers. So we always really appreciate that too. So thanks for coming on, Shane. I appreciate it. Any other last minute thoughts before we wrap up here?
I just want to say thanks again for having me on to talk about these things. Again, we love everybody from Anywhere POD. And for those who don't use Anywhere POD, highly recommended. I think we're like a perfect match for software to really good high-end quality products. And good luck selling. If there's anything you need, get in touch.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds great, everybody. Thanks for taking the time to join us. Thanks again, Shane, for coming on. And we'll see you all in the next one. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.